everyone. Welcome to day 6 of 100 Days of Tarot. I am Angel Renee, and you have tapped into the Healing versus Hurt Tarot community. And I thank you for coming by, spending some time with me. The deck that I'm using right now is called the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. Okay. Let's get into this. Happy Friday, by the way. Happy Friday. Or whenever you're watching this. Whenever you are watching this. Happy day to you. Happy day to you. I don't know. I might need a little coffee for the afternoon, y'all. Oh, you know what? I'm going to drink. I got these little green packets I drink. That don't have all like the bad stuff in it and all the sugars and stuff. It's just like strictly like herbs and stuff. So I'm gonna put that in some water and drink that. That always gives me a boost of energy. And it's 4:44 on the clock, just FYI. All right, so we have communication. Yes. Communication. Okay. Why do we make it so hard? Why do we make communication so difficult? All we gotta do is open our mouth. The next one is heal. Okay, so I'm feeling like we probably make it hard sometimes, or let me not say hard, challenging. Okay, because we need to heal our throat chakra. Sometimes it's easy for us to say certain things, and then when it comes to other things, it's hard for us to say or talk about or express ourselves in certain ways, you know, and we all have levels. We all may have challenges. For those who are watching this, may have challenges in this area at maybe some level. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be like you just don't talk about anything. It could be as, you know, something where you need to express more love to yourself in words, you know, and communicate with yourself in a more loving way. So it could be as simple as that as well. So we have past. Okay. Past. So we have communication, heal, and past. And with this, you don't want to step back into old ways. If you have found yourself communicating and healing in ways that has taken you to another level in your journey, I feel like this is telling us to not revert back to the past in the way we communicate, in the way that we handle things. You know, sometimes it takes for us talking to ourselves, right? Let me tell you something. I had to do this today. Literally talking through it as though you're talking to a friend. Literally talking through some things and communicating in a healthy way. You know, a lot of times we like to assume things, you know, and assume that other people know certain things that they may not be thinking anything of, you know. So assuming, as my grandfather would say, assuming, what do you say? Something about assuming something about making you an ass, or what do you say? Assuming, I don't know. Anyway, don't assume. Okay. And some good literature to read on when it comes to that is the 4 agreements. It's a agreement in there about not assuming, okay? And what it can actually do to your relationships, to yourself, you know, to your quality of life, as far as just assuming all the time that everybody don't know all the time what you're thinking. Everybody don't know, like if they're moving in a certain way, like that's the way that they usually move. You can't assume that they know that you want to be communicated to, or that you want to be communicated to about this. Like that's where it takes us to communicate, to voice and express ourselves in a healthy manner. Okay. I don't mean like all like riff-raff and talking all crazy, but I mean truly communicating in a healthy way. And some of us might need to also learn how to do just that. the thing is that how do you talk to yourself? And sometimes it's good to start off by it's good to start off by looking at that. How do I talk to myself? Do I look in the mirror and get to going on myself hard like something's wrong with me? And usually you'll start to communicate in that way when it comes to other people. Or, I had a conversation earlier, sometimes if you've been brought up in households where it's yelling and fussing and this and that and cussing and things like that, you come and step into your adulthood and you may tend to connect in a traumatizing way with those who might speak to you in the same way that you were spoken to when you were in your childhood, right? And that's just something to look at as well. And I think sometimes we don't want to look at where we may tend to have trauma, but it's also about healing from the trauma. That's why my company, Healing versus Hurt. Like, you want to go through the stages of being healed, because at one point inside of you, you were a healed individual. Something caused you to have to go to a place of needing to be healed again. Okay. So it's okay, because the thing is that healing will cause you to level up, cause you to evolve, cause you to grow from the inside out if you allow it. Okay. So let's get into our next set of cards. So I am using it's called the Wild Muse. This deck is Black owned. It's by Vanessa Samina. It's a Oracle deck. And I really, 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 really like this card deck. And it's just so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. And the imagery is just phenomenal. I love me some good art, some good imagery on some cards. All right, so the card that comes out is In Touch with Your Body. That's why I say, when you look in the mirror, what do you see? And what do you communicate back to yourself? I don't care if it's just a thought. The thought will create, okay? It will manifest. So what are you thinking about yourself? Now, the thing is that if there's something that you feel like, what does a person look like who, and I got this out of this book that I'm reading, okay? What does a person look like that's healthy? What do they feel like? How can you step into that energy and start to act upon what that will look like for you? But I'm speaking more so, how are you communicating this to yourself? And how are you hearing it? Because that matters too, how you're speaking to yourself and how you're hearing it. Because your thoughts create. So what are you thinking about when you think about you? What do you think about when you're thinking about other people? What are you thinking about when you think about anything? Decluttering. What thoughts do you need to declutter today so that you can get in a space of taking action for yourself in a more healthier way? What do you need to declutter? What do you need to haul out to the garbage and get rid of? To move on past what it is you need to move on past. When it comes to your thoughts, when it comes to your words, when it comes to people, what do you need to declutter? One thing I'm going to read this to you all, because this is from the book that I'm reading. And this honestly is just, it's something else. Every repeated action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. And this was not verbatim, but this is basically what it is. Every repeated action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. So to me, this goes back to saying, what are you saying about yourself? What are you saying about who you are or who you want to become? What are you saying? Because that's very important. That's very important for the decision makings, for the decision making that you need to make for your goals in life, you know. So all this matters. Healing the way that you communicate and the way that you process, and even the way you process communication from other people, you know, all that is a factor. All that is a factor in how you're going to move throughout your daily life. We have this card, Stormy. Yeah, I just heard, yep, time to go through the dark night of the soul again. Because this communication is going to be big. It's going to be big when it comes to you in business. It's going to be big when it comes to you and your family. It's going to be big when it comes to you and your friends, you and your associates, you and partnerships. This is going to be a big piece of how you move through life, how you will grow, how you will experience life when it comes to your communication and you healing wherever you need to heal. Because if you have already healed in this area of communication, don't go back to what it used to be. Now you might need to find out, okay, now I'm at another level. This way that I'm communicating, I feel like it's time to go to another level. So me trying to revert back to the past, something's starting to shake. What's starting to happen within me that wants me to go back to the way I used to communicate? So it might just be another level of healing that needs to be done when it comes to this. And we have to remember, we do have memories, right? We do have memories. So just with that, just because something comes up where you might want to revert to how you used to communicate, it doesn't mean that you have to. So we got to understand that as well. We're very powerful. So you don't have to revert back to that unless you choose to. Life is so much more magical if we do what we need to do. And it's time to move on. It's time to move on. That's what it says. It says it's time to move on. So basically, like looking at these cards, in touch with your body, decluttering, stormy, time to move on. Time to move on from how you used to do things, how you used to talk to yourself, how you used to talk to others. Because it's time out for that. Because the thing is that you will lose relationships that are very genuine and authentic, all because of the way you communicate. We have to be more careful. We have to be more aware, self-aware, okay? And with us having these 100 days of tarot, these are going to help us. These days are going to help us to become more self-aware and discover more of who we are and how we really be, you know? Let's get one more card to close out. At least I'm thinking one more card. I'm almost feeling two, but we gonna see. That one. His zero fucks given. This actually, funny enough, this actually had came out. It's like I had seen it and then I ended up putting it back, but it was like when I was shuffling from up here. So it still came out anyway. So, hey, I don't know if I'm supposed to be cussing, but zero fucks given, period. Okay? You better give zero F's. Okay? Because if you don't, honey, if you don't give zero F's, this been wanting to come out too. Nope, that ain't it. If you don't give zero F's, baby, you'll be holding on to things that just don't need to be held on to no more, child. See? Disconnect. I knew it was going to be two more. Disconnect. Need to just disconnect from things. Even if you need to disconnect from people, if you need to disconnect from the internet, if you need to disconnect and go outside, and I don't mean to distract yourself, I mean to go outside in ways that can help to give you clarity, like going for a walk, all those things. Go sit by some water, sit up under a shade tree, sit on the porch and just listen to the birds. But it's just time to disconnect. And I do want to go back to the 0 F's given. To me, this card represents you not caring about what other people think of you anymore. And when I say this, the way you communicate, if you're communicating in a healthy way, in a way that's not bringing somebody else down, it's not demeaning someone, that's what I mean by 0 fucks. And if they try to act like you are and you know that you're not, because we have to also be honest with ourselves. I got to stress that. You got to be honest with yourself. If you know doggone well you saying stuff that you should not be saying to somebody because you wouldn't want them to say it to you or somebody that you care about say it to you, we're not going to act like you sitting back being all right. Like where you're just being like, oh, there's nothing wrong with what I said. No, it was absolutely something wrong with it. It was absolutely something wrong with it. So go and apologize after that. Okay? And then move forward. But again, if you're somebody who's communicating in a healthy way and you're speaking from a place of healing and love and nurture and kindness and compassion, and you know that, and some may not want that from you, give 0 fucks. Okay? Give 0 fucks. Okay? Period. And disconnect. All right. So that's on that. That's all I got for you. So thank you all for coming by once again. We are on day 6 of 100 Days of Tarot. We are doing this thing. Okay? I love you all, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.